Hello and welcome to the Speak Your Brand show. This is a show where we talk all about branding and how to strengthen your brand. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking to Simone Sumers, who is an expert on creating online courses. And we're going to discuss how creating an online course for yourself, for your business, will strengthen your brand and how to go about doing so. So welcome to the show, Simone. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
That's great. That's great. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Now, you help your clients to create online courses. Perhaps we could
Yes.
start by telling our viewers and listeners a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got into producing online courses.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I have 14 years of teaching background. So for me, the pivot from teaching wasn't really that big. I've been teaching ever since I was 17. And when I studied to become a teacher many years ago, I actually had a lot of electives that were around online learning, on how to create digital teaching material, how to make sure you get the connection with the students even though it's online, and things like flip learning and a lot of different things. So when I a couple of years ago chose to make a pivot into coaching, because now I'm an online business coach, I help my customers create amazing online courses, and I help them sell them through social media. Because definitely in a time like this, where we're on and off with lockdown, the best way to find your customers these days are social media. And basically social media and online courses are a little bit of an extension of each other in one way or another. So for me, it was actually a very natural pivot to go from teaching students, and then I was teaching adults for many years. I taught a lot of business people languages. I'm a German teacher by trade, and science teacher as well. And then also I have a background in dancing and professional dancing. So all of these things with like camera, lights, technical stuff, editing videos, it's all been a part of my life for very many years. So it all just kind of came together. And then I've been working with social media for the past 2 years, and worked for the greatest coaching house here in Copenhagen, or in Denmark, where I did their social media. So I really feel like it all very organically came together, so that I use all of my teaching experience to help people create their online courses, because I know every person out there is an expert at something. And even though I might be like, oh, but I'm not really sure and I don't actually know what to teach. I mean, I have a friend, she's a pastor's daughter. And because she's a pastor's daughter, obviously she has a lot of friends in the church. So she's helped plan, I think, over 50 bachelorette parties in the past decade or so. So at this point, she's basically an expert at planning bachelorette parties. So now we're creating an online course on how to plan a bachelorette party. So you don't need this huge fancy degree to be an expert at something. And this is very important in a time like this, because the new trend is people want to see that you walk the walk, instead of just having read a bunch of books. Because I mean, everyone this day can read a book, but if you can show, yes, I've been here and now I'm here, people resonate with that. So I know that everyone has that at least one course in them, and obviously I want you to create more than one course because it's amazing. So for me, it's all just been like this natural, organic path. And then, yeah, actually, I started going full in on online course creation back in February before the lockdowns. So to be honest,
Timing,
I really enjoyed the lockdowns. Yes.
Yes.
For me, the lockdowns have actually been really great, because a lot of people that before weren't as susceptible to online learning are very open to it now. And this trend with online learning, it's not going away anytime soon. Actually, Forbes magazine predicts that by the year 2025, the online course industry will be almost $1 billion a day. So it's only just going to skyrocket from here on out. So
wow,
if you haven't created an online course yet, get started.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
can you said that everybody has an online course in them. So
Definitely.
does it matter what your online course are there any limits or restrictions with regards to what people can actually produce, what sort of information they can share and teach? Is there any limitations?
Yeah.
Is it anything?
Thank you for this question. Thank you so much for this question, because there's this huge myth out there that you have to be knowledge-based or service-based to create an online course, which is actually really far from the truth. Actually, there is a lady in the States. She creates this stunning hair jewelry. And then she created an online course on how to style your hair with the online jewelry that she sells. So obviously she has a shop. She has an online shop. But then every time you hit the counter and you're about to check out, it pops up as an upsell. Do you want to learn how to style your hair using this hair jewelry? And then a lot of people are like, well, yeah, I'm using it for a wedding or for this or for that. So they want to know how to use it. And that way she has an online course that she doesn't spend any money marketing, but at least 50% of her sales actually add the online course as an upsell. And the best part is it's amazing customer service. It's really great customer service, because if you buy this product and this online course helps you use the product to a lot better, then the likelihood that you're going to come back and buy more is a lot bigger. So you don't have to be service-based or knowledge-based. You can also have a product. Also heard of a guy here in Denmark. He has an online drone shop. And a lot of people who buy their first-time drone have no idea how to fly it. So he created an online course on how to fly a drone. So I'm telling you, every time they're about to get a bigger one, yeah, where do you think they're going to come back and buy their drone from? They're
Absolutely.
obviously going to come back to the place that taught them how to fly it. So there's actually no limits to what you can create an online course on. I'm also working with a former teacher colleague who's creating an online course on how you as a parent support your child while they're in school, because there's a lot of miscommunications around school and homework, and not everyone has the financial means for a tutor, but you still as a parent want to be able to help your child as much as possible. So there really are no limits to what you can create an online course on.
Absolutely fantastic.
So
Absolutely fantastic.
Whatever industry you're in, go for it.
Or even, I suppose, even if you're not yet in an industry,
yeah, exactly.
As perhaps even as a side hustle. You know, we hear that phrase a lot since lockdown started. You know, get yourself a side hustle.
Yeah.
Well, why not create an online course to do that? So that would be great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just very quickly, Simone, what would be your top tip to anybody who is who is perhaps looking to strengthen their brand in regards to creating an online course? What would be your top tip for someone in that situation?
Well, my first tip is just get started, because the worst thing I see is so many people like, oh, I have this idea of an online course, but wait, I'll create my website first. And then 3 months later, maybe they have a website, and then they're like, wait, but I need to create the course first. And then it just never happens. Like, so get started and actually get selling before you create the online course. This is very important, because I've seen this so often, it really hurts my soul. I see people who I've actually seen someone spend 9 months creating this huge online course, and then when she was ready to sell it, no one wanted to sell it because it was too big. And I'll come back to that in a second, but you need to start creating just the rough edges, like what's the outline, what does it contain, what transformation do you create for your customer, and then you start selling it. Because by you starting to sell it, you validate whether your idea and the solution that you have is actually something that's worth creating a course around. So this is your market research basically as well. So as soon as you start having the first few sales, then you can be like, okay, we start this course 3 weeks from today, and then you can start creating the homepage, the course, and all of these kinds of things. But you always want to start selling and just get ready and get out there as soon as possible. Because if you don't start selling right away, how will you know if you have a product that is going to sell? I mean, it sounds dumb for a lot of people, it sounds stressing to start selling before you create. But this is your best way to make sure that you actually have a course that you can sell. So get started today, because like I always tell my coaching students, Monday never comes. I mean, how many times have you heard, oh, I'll start my diet on Monday, oh, I'll start my business on Monday, or I'll do this on Monday, and it just never comes. So either you start now or you get some help, or it's not going to happen. That's like those are the three options. I'm sorry to say, but yeah. So
That's,
get
I mean,
started ASAP.
that is that bit of information, that is absolutely gold, I feel. You know, you're absolutely right. Get started. I've long said that there are only two failures in life. One is, and the first is to never get started in the first place. So you have to get started. You do have to get started. Um,
Yeah.
would you have any tips for somebody, if somebody has, perhaps they've gotten started, but they perhaps feel that they are a little bit floundering along the way, perhaps they've reached a stuck point? What would
Yeah.
be your tip for somebody in that situation?
Yeah. And that's actually a really great point, because a lot of people are going to get stuck eventually. And this happens in every area of your life. Obviously, I truly recommend that you have some kind of support system, a coach, some coworkers that you work with along with the project. Well, not coworkers, but co-coaches, or someone in the same on the same road. But a lot of people actually get overwhelmed because they think, okay, this is my first course and this is my baby. And I actually heard a woman say she feels like if she sells this course, they have the right for all of her knowledge on this topic. Like, she needs to put all of her knowledge into this topic. And for the average Joe, all of her knowledge would be super overwhelming. It would not even be helpful. It would just be overwhelming and would mean that the person that bought the course would never actually finish it. So my really good advice here is to keep the first course simple. Your first course will always be an introductory course to what you're actually working with, because you want to be sure to reach a bit of a broader audience to begin with, so that you actually get people in and you validate this is something they want to learn about, they enjoy it, they like it. And then once people are like, hey, I want more of this because this is amazing, then you create your big course. And also, creating a course for the first time can be quite overwhelming. So you don't want to start with a 26-week transform your life something course. You want to start with something that's between 3 and 8 weeks, where you have enough time for your client to have some kind of a transformation, but also that it's not this huge thing where everything in their life has to be changed, because people aren't looking to buy a course. This is very important. They're looking for a solution. I mean, you don't go to a personal trainer because you want to work out 5 times a week. No, you go there because you want to lose weight or you want to gain muscle or something. So they're looking for a solution to a problem that they're having. And this is where the same thing happens in an online course. People are looking for this solution to a problem. So a lot of people are only ready to just dip their toe. They're not ready to go all in. And this is why you want to start with a smaller course, because then everyone can come in, dip their toe. Then you do an amazing job and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, I need more of this. Then you create the bigger course and you already have your first customers. So if you get overwhelmed, make sure your first course, because especially the first course where you're going to get overwhelmed, make sure it's crisp, it's straight to the point, not all this bonus information that's not relevant. Really figure out, how does my client get this transformation? And that's what they need and nothing else.
Absolutely, that's brilliant information. Fantastic. So you talk there about keeping it simple. So would you say, would you suggest as a perhaps one avenue, it would possibly be to perhaps just start with just an initial single video webinar, and then upsell to a larger course, and then upsell to your main course? Would that be a good route to market?
Yes, exactly. You often want to use a webinar, a Facebook Live, an Instagram Live, something like that as your teaser, your entry to what is coming, because you want to let people know what's coming. And the best way to do that is to have some sort of a webinar, a podcast, a video podcast, a live, so that people can get a feel of, okay, I kind of like this topic. And then you'll always be like, oh yes, by the way, you can learn more about this in my online course, or this area we'll be talking about in the online course. So you kind of like leave them hanging just a little bit, but you also need to introduce them to what it's about. So a webinar or masterclass, something like that. Great idea to get started. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, so I mean that's something for myself to pick up on for myself. You know, I've got
Yeah.
my speak Unleash Your Inner Warrior speaking presenting with confidence
Yes.
masterclass, which is a live
Yeah.
class. It's a 4-hour course, 4-hour session, so from about 9 o'clock till 1 o'clock, and so for myself,
Yeah.
that's something that for me to work on with regards to the workshop or the course that I'm actually producing at the moment. So yes, it's
Yeah.
a great way of like you say, upselling your online
Yeah.
courses through a webinar. So that's absolutely gold.
Definitely.
That is absolutely gold. So you said about
Yeah.
telling, using that as a taster to tell people what's coming next. For yourself, what's coming next?
Yes, for me, what's coming next is Monday, the 16th of November. I start my online course. It's called Online Monetizing Academy, where we dig into how you create an online course, how you sell it, and most importantly, how you streamline it. Because creating an online course is, a couple years ago, I heard the term beach money. And I really feel like online courses are the beach money 2.0 because online courses are here to stay. And the beautiful thing is you create it once, but then you have it to sell again and again. That way it's almost becomes passive income because yes, of course you need to advertise and market it every time it launches again. But once you created it, a lot of the work is already done. So I teach you exactly what you need to know to create your online course, to sell it, and to streamline it. And most importantly, how to create a community, even though you're online and you're pre-recording and these kinds of things, because you need to make sure to keep people accountable and that they feel like they're part of this and that they feel connected to you because they are on a transformational journey. So all of this is part of my 8-week program, the Online Monetizing Academy. And we start Monday, the 16th of November. And I'd love to have you there and help you create an amazing online course because I think everyone should create an online course.
Absolutely fantastic. And if our viewers and listeners want to enroll onto that course, where can they go? What's the web address for them to sign
Yes.
up for that?
Yes. So my webpage is SimoneSumers.com. That is SimoneSumers.com. And here you can read about the course and you can sign up and ask me any questions if you have anything, and also get some of my top tips on how to create online courses. So definitely check it out.
Absolutely. So, dear listener and viewers, do check that out. SimoneSumers.com. That's SimoneSumers.com. I will put a link in the text that accompanies this podcast and podcast. So do check that out. As you've heard, this is a great way to leverage your brand and to establish yourself as an expert within your field. And as Simone has said, it doesn't matter what your knowledge is. You could be like a fitness instructor or a jewelry creator or something that perhaps you've even done as a hobby, maybe for
Yes,
years and
definitely.
years, and you want to teach other people how to get the most out of that hobby. So it doesn't matter what it is that your knowledge is. This is a great opportunity, and now is the time to get involved. So do check that out. Thank you very much, Simone. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you today and learning
Thank you,
some
you
great
too.
tips. I've learned some things as well, so it's been absolutely fantastic. To our viewers and listeners, if you want to get yourself on this show, to get yourself some exposure, then do head over to speakyourbrand.club and follow the links there to book your interview session. It is pre-recorded, so you don't have to worry about it being live and tripping over, because if you are feeling a little bit nervous, I will work with you through those nerves. And incidentally, if you do have some challenges with regards to feeling uncomfortable on camera, then or on stage even, then do check out my Unleash Your Inner Warrior Speaking Presenting with Confidence Masterclass. Again, go to speakyourbrand.club and follow the links for that. Thank you once again, Simone. It's been absolutely fantastic to speak to you. You've shared some fantastic nuggets of gold there, nuggets of wisdom. And thank you to our viewers and listeners for tuning in and watching and listening. Thank you very much. Until next time, take care, stay safe. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.